Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you a Newsbeat exclusive tonight talking about Tesla. Over the test of time, people have noticed the world changing in ways that maybe they could not predict. When Ford made their first car, the majority of the populace thought that the horse and carriage were still going to be the major means of transportation for times to come. As people stopped walking around with swords on a sheath, armor smiths, weaponsmiths, and blacksmiths all of a sudden went out of business. Fast forward into the future, and you'll stop seeing companies like shoe repair, which used to be a popular thing back in the day, but now it's just cheaper to buy a new pair of shoes. As time goes on and certain markets start to fluctuate, certain ones do really well and certain ones falter. However, with the automotive industry, every single car company has been failing, with the exception of one. To be able to literally prevail and supersede all expectations during the coronavirus is quite amazing. Superseding expectations for a company like Netflix may not be such a big deal in terms of many of you know that probably Netflix hours are up with everyone being quarantined at home. Maybe your grocery sales in Kroger and all these other grocers in Walmart and Target, maybe they're having a lot more business thanks to this coronavirus as people scurry to collect as many goods for their families as humanly possible. But who would have thought during a time like this, when all these car companies are getting hurt, that the number one valued automaker in the world, an electric vehicle company, which sells a microfraction of vehicles to the public compared to every major automaker on the planet. Who would have thought that during the coronavirus that their sales would have actually been exploding to all-time highs? I'm going to share with you a Newsbeat Live exclusive on why, just why Tesla might become the number one automaker, not only today, but in the future, and why I think Tesla is going to go to $1,250 a lot sooner than you think. With such a Newsbeat exclusive today, I do ask that you keep in mind that this is done for a charity drive. Things like this are normally shared exclusively for the Newsbeat live room, but I do encourage you to take a look at this. There's a link in the description, especially if you enjoyed this content. There's only 4 hours to go. 100% of the proceeds of signing up for whatever you want to pay, the minimum is $1, and you get T3 Live's All-Star Training, 100% of those proceeds, not 90, not 95, 100% of them goes to the American Nurses Foundation, UNICEF, Children First. There's a lot of child abuse going on during these quarantines. It's a horrible thing. Parents are not used to being home with their kids, believe it or not, as terrible as that sounds. Not only that, City Harvest is here as well. And I'm going to show you our complete due diligence, a Newsbeat exclusive on why I think Tesla is going to $1,250. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. Have a lot of great things for you here today. We're going to go over all the reasons of why Tesla, I feel, is going to not only go to a $1,250 target, this is going to go well beyond the charts. This is also a very important lesson for you guys who only apply charts to your trading. The fact still remains today that the vast majority of traders, all truthfulness, I'm not one of them. But the vast majority of traders cannot make money with just looking at a chart. And the vast amount of money is made through having further knowledge that does go beyond the charts. I think there should be a happy marriage of both, collaborated and working together to create the strongest trades out there. However, as I do go through this, and not only that, every single thing I talk about today, there will be a link in the description for you to watch it yourself. So everything that I speak about today, um, There will be a link in the description to show you all the sources of where I'm quoting it from. And I want to thank Tyler for helping put together such a wonderful list. But by watching this today, you're going to all the news flow side, and you don't have to worry about all my fancy schmancy lines and parameters. And it looks like, Spider-Man got drunk and he started shooting webs all across my chart. On a name like Tesla here, I have Microsoft up. On a name like Tesla here, we watched the stock go as high as $968.99 right before the coronavirus started. After the coronavirus really started, pretty much right over here, the stock basically went from $901 all the way down to $350. However, was that fair? And I just need to point out right now, I've never been a fan of Tesla. I've never disliked or liked Tesla. I never believed in their model. I never have not believed in their model. But I will say right now, through over the years of Elon Musk falsely and or rather inaccurately promising profitable quarters, that has finally become a reality. And this is why I like the company more today. The company right now is trading at $573 as of the close of Thursday, and I think this is going to more than double in value. I do also want to point out before I go into my full due diligence and full analysis, including showing you drone shots and aerial shots and testing their batteries and asking all the questions that a sophisticated investor might want to know regarding this company, I do want to just say one thing here is that I do not own any Tesla shares. I do not own any option contracts. I'm not short any shares or any option contracts. I have no position at this moment as this video is being made in Tesla whatsoever. So let's just go ahead and we're going to start and we're just going to go down the list. So we're going to start off here with the drone shots. We're going to start here with the drone shots of the Gigafactory 3, and I do want to show you a few of them because what this does here is it literally shows you how this company expanded. And again, if you like any of these things, everything that I show you on this video, there will be links in the description of this video, but I did want to go over them with you, just take you through a quick drone shot of how you could just see like how the land is just starting to develop as time goes by. And I know I'm fast forwarding through a lot of it because I'm not here to just play you all the videos, but I did want to show you exactly how it works. Not only that, we have other videos which are a lot quicker. There are other videos which are a lot quicker. And let's just share this one with you. This basically shows how the Gigafactory is being developed, and this is just basically going through drone shots. And the importance of looking at videos like this is that you literally want to see how much are they really expanding in China and why they're expanding in China and why this factory keeps getting larger and larger with this Tesla Gigafactory in Shanghai. Now, why is this important? Is because I'm going to start showing you where the sales in China are coming from. And then I'm going to literally, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I'm literally going to pull this picture together for you and literally show you how it all fits together. So next on the list here, I do want to talk about the Kelley Blue Book and how Tesla dominates 5 out of the 6 Kelley Blue Book awards. Now, if you're not familiar with Kelley Blue Book, it's kind of a big deal. It's basically one of the gold standards in rating cars. And looking at the Kelley Blue Book here, they won Best Overall Luxury Brand, Best Value Luxury Brand, Most Refined Luxury Brand, the Best Performance Luxury Brand, and the Best Styling Luxury Brand. And just based on a weird, I think it was like some technical thing, they weren't the most trusted luxury brand, and that actually ended up going to Lexus. But Tesla basically stepped in and dominated the Kelley Blue Book. Why is this important? Because a lot of people buy their next car based on Kelley Blue Book. And with this coming out, I'm expecting sales this year to continue to explode. But of course, with sales supposedly exploding, one must stop and ask, well, how about right now during the coronavirus? And this is what really took me by storm. And I'm just going to go to step number 3 over here, step number 4, step number 5, and step number 6. They are just dominating around the world between Belgium, China, Netherlands, and Iceland. And I'm going to also show the importance as our energy is actually changing. With all this drama in gasoline and with all this, the oil wars and whatnot, people are not going to want to deal with the drama anymore. People are not going to want their companies, their countries held hostage to the price of oil. It's much easier to produce energy. I'm going to go a little into that later, but first I want to go just right into Belgium showing that the Tesla Model S3 and X are in the top 4 of Belgium's best-selling EVs in March of 2020. And the key thing to notice here is not many people actually know this, but there are a lot of companies competing with Tesla. I mean, you have Volkswagen, Mercedes, BMW, Volvo, Puget, Peugeot, Sacre Bleu, my French isn't exactly there, an Audi, but it might be a little hard to see here. But basically, Tesla is dominating 4 categories of electric vehicles in Belgium at the moment, and that is a very important thing. Next, after Belgium, I just want to go right to the big dog, and I just want to take it right over to China. And again, all the links in this video are all the links to the videos I'm showing you and websites are in the description of this video. Okay. In March. Now this to me was very impressive. All right, January, you remember, I need to remind you when Tesla was exploding up because in February they sold 3,900 units. When Tesla was exploding up in February, here, let me take you back to, I don't know, February 4th when Tesla hit $968.99, where it was clearly going to go over 1,000, right? And it started ramping on a beautiful bull flag, and it was leaning up, and it was leaning up, it was going to go, and then the bear market hit, right? So it's kind of funny, or not funny, but sort of ironic with the timing of as it was trying to go. It literally took a plunging of world economies in order to do it. But the thing that actually shocked me here, the thing that I was just absolutely blown away by, was in March, Tesla sold 10,160 units. That is exponential growth. China is literally trying to become more of a green country. See, if you look at Earth from outer space, there's 3 places in the world that look like, I don't know, like somebody vomited upon the Earth. If you look at, if you're on the International Space Station, when am I going up there, Mark? You're not probably in your lifetime, and maybe I will one day, right? If you look at the country of India, in China, and Los Angeles, which is not a country, it's a city, I know. But if you look at the state of California, like particularly near LA, China, and India, it looks it looks like mold growing on the earth. I kid you not. When you look at it from far, you're like, "Oh, what's wrong over there? Something is wrong." Like if you were like Galactus, devourer of planets, you would look at like India, China, and Los Angeles, and you'd be like, I think this planet is bad. I'm gonna go eat like Venus or something or like Mars. I want to stay away from this Earth. But and everybody knew that basically China and India were serial polluters of the planet. I mean, they really do nothing to curb any of their emissions. Now, why is this important? Because China is actually showing that with their explosive growth in electronic vehicles, that they are not only trying to become a world leader in green energy and they know the importance of it, but they're also selling in their country. Think about it. Every time the word China is used, the first thing that people think of with US companies going to China is the stealing of intellectual property. Look at Zoom video. Well, why did everybody stop using Zoom? And I know they did a fix for it and whatever, because everything was routing through China. You have to realize this is what's happening. So Is it a little fishy that Tesla, with all their patents and technology, are building their factories in China and China's boosting them up? I really don't care. That is not my place in the world to look at the protection of intellectual properties. But it is my job to try to find value in a company that is going to be exploding in their electronic vehicle sales. And with these sales, and just please keep in mind, this came out on April 9th, this article. Nobody is really talking much about it yet. I'm sure some websites are doing it, but I need you to realize that this coronavirus, not only did it not hurt Tesla, but Tesla sold 2.5 times more vehicles than it did in February. And this is exponentially growing. It's like the curve of their sales are like shooting up. It's the most phenomenal thing that you would ever guess from any company dealing with this corona pandemic. So I did want to point that out. Not only that, they are becoming the best seller in Iceland and the Netherlands. So believe it or not, and this is a very important one. You might say Iceland. All right, Mark. China is a lot more impressive to me than Iceland. Well, that's not, yeah, me too, but that's not really the takeaway there. The takeaway there is Iceland is not really too populated. There's 350,000 people in Iceland, right? But the problem is their electricity generation is almost 100% renewable. They have almost 100% renewable electricity generation, and it's very hard for them to bring oil into the country. So for countries like this, it's just basically showing you here that for countries that want to get rid of oil, it is just so easy with renewable energy to just have Teslas. I mean, this is I mean, everybody knows electric vehicles are going to be the wave of the future. I think the real question people were having when it comes to these EVs was BMW, was Mercedes, was General Motors, Ford, Volvo, all these other companies, or are they going to take the lead? And right now, what's happening, and through this report, and I'm going to show you more of, Tesla is basically breaking away. Tesla is breaking away. These other companies don't have a chance because they are dumping all their investment in the technology. And then wait till the end of this video when I show you that Tesla doesn't even need to sell cars to hit my price target. Ironically speaking, you're not hearing things. I am saying that they're going to make it whether they sell vehicles or not. And obviously, they will be selling vehicles. Okay. So I want to also talk about, and I skipped over the Netherlands, but there's a link in the description. I want to move on. Is Tesla the most efficient electronic vehicle on the planet? Is Tesla the most efficient electronic vehicle on the planet? And there's a very nice electronic vehicle core efficiency ratio here. And doesn't matter if I guess I'll just move my face. See half my face. So just if you see half my face, you probably only need to take like half an ibuprofen, not the full one. So, be like maybe half a Tums. So if you look at right here, Tesla's core efficiency rating is decimating Hyundai, Volvo, Ford, Chevy, Renault. And if I pronounce it wrong, I don't care. All right. All right. This isn't French 101. I know some of you in the audience from France watching in on the show is like, Sacre bleu, Melnick, it's Renard. And I'm like, yeah, whatever she said. Okay. Nissan, Mercedes, Rivian. I've never heard of these companies. Jaguar, Audi, Neo, is he from the Matrix? Xpeng, Porsche, I've heard of Porsche, BMW. So right now, based in, even if you look at the range, besides for the efficiency, you look at the range with the amount of weight it could hold, it is just decimating Everyone, I mean, nobody is remotely close to going near a Tesla. Nobody is remotely close to going near a Tesla. They are by far the best electronic vehicle maker on the planet. Forget about popular. I could care less who's popular or not. They are by far the most efficient electronic vehicle provider on the planet. Like, it doesn't even come close. And the next thing I actually wanted to talk about, which was very, very interesting, was sort of sort of a little, I don't know if it was an intentional. You can never tell with Elon Musk. Because when Elon Musk is on Twitter, you don't know. It's like, is that the ambient, I'm high on medical grade marijuana Elon Musk? Or is that the Elon Musk having like a sip of alcohol? Did he combine the alcohol and the Ambien? Because that's not good, Elon. Like, you never know, but it did come out of his mouth. And check this out, because this I found absolutely amazing. So Elon Musk says, just tweets out something on March 10th, earlier this year, um, about whatever, less than a month ago, whatever, month ago. Model Y production for East Coast 2. So somebody replied to him and said, because this guy is trying to figure out if, what kind of medications Elon was on. And he said, I'll read this to you. He says, can you clarify if you mean the new central U.S. factory would do Cybertruck and Model Y production for the East Coast? Or is this a separate location for the Model Y production only on the East Coast? There's some confusion since you refer to the factory as the Cybertruck Gigafactory. And Elon thinking, knowing that he has to give a very elongated response to the answer based on, when people smoke marijuana and do Ambien and alcohol, they become very philosophical. So Elon was like, allow me to retort. Former. That's what he said. He just said former. Former. So he's basically saying, based on what I can read here, is that this U.S. factory is going to be producing Cybertrucks. And if he's producing Cybertrucks in the United States of America instead of China, where they're blessing him with open arms, and definitely it will cost them much less money to produce these Cybertrucks in China, there's only one thing that this means to me personally, in my humble opinion, is that he wants to take over North America with trucking. You're not going to have these huge diesel guzzlers in some point in the future. And you want to know the funny thing? Here's just one thing before I go on to a very good question. I'm going to actually discuss, with Tesla's batteries weaken over time. Do you guys know when you leave your like Apple phone plugged in or anything with a battery, if you leave it plugged in, it's like they always tell you you're supposed to take it off the charger after 4 hours. And come on, I know you guys plug it in at night and fall asleep, and you're weakening your battery just a little every time, and all of a sudden later you guys are like hitting 11, if you know what I'm talking about, and you're like, oh, my battery doesn't have as much charge. So we're going to actually delve into, will Tesla's battery substantially weaken over time, especially if you overcharge them. Okay, so we're going to discuss that as well. But I do want to make one point here of what's happening, the irony, because I'm sure there's some people out there, myself included, who would say, Mark, the price of oil has been tumbling, with Saudi output in Russia, and we have like World Oil War One, and we're dumping production. Wouldn't that be good for the truckers? Because then they wouldn't have to spend as much money on diesel gasoline. But here's the problem. There's one part that you're underestimating. With oil at the current prices, the US government is either going to have to be forced to bail out the oil industry, or the oil industry, and we're just talking the United States of America. I'm not talking about third world countries whose economy would collapse in 32 minutes if you removed, gasoline from the country. I'm talking United States of America right now. And what's going to happen is the places that sell you the oil are not going to be able to stay in business. And look, I know people who own gas stations and whatever, and I understand they make a certain margin. All the gas stations do make more money on higher oil, even with their margins. So what happens is, as more electronic vehicles are coming in, and as oil's going down, it's a 1-2 knockout punch. You're going to bankrupt every oil company. Now, I'm not saying they'll go bankrupt. Maybe they'll accept hundreds of billions of dollars in U.S. money. Maybe U.S. will go to the printing machine and it'll be like, let's see, page setup. How many copies of this $100 bill I want to make? 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, and they just keep pressing the zero. Yeah, yeah. Let me look at my watch. All right. Enter. Files sent to ExxonMobil, Chevron. Look, if these oil companies go out of business, this is another reason why these cyber trucks are going to take over. And these cyber trucks are efficient. They're the most efficient. Do you realize when this cyber truck comes out, you know how long it's going to take for BMW, Mercedes, and Ford and General Motors and Volvo and Audi to come out with their own Cybertruck? First of all, trucking is based on distance. Trucking is based on distance. There's some people who don't give a expletive if their electric vehicle goes 300 miles per charge or 200 miles per charge because I just have to drive 10 miles back and forth to work and I really don't care if it's 300 or 200. But when you are a trucker, you are most likely driving interstate. Some of them are driving from US to Florida, some of them California to Florida, California to the US, Texas to the US, Texas to Wyoming, and you have these truckers going massive distances. The capacity of your battery all of a sudden matters. And given the fact that Tesla is so far ahead of the competition, you're not going to be able to come out and compete with them overnight. You're already lost. The game is already over. And do you think right now, with Tesla doing this and opening up this factory as of 1 month ago, do you think during this coronavirus recession, which was also happening, P.S., 1 month ago as well, do you think they're going to just suddenly come out and say, we're laying off all our workers, we're furloughing our employees? Wait, let's invest in battery technology so we might be able to, even if we probably will fail with Tesla in the future. Do you think that's going to happen? What's your opinion on that? Let me know in the comments section. Next one I want to talk about is, would Tesla's batteries deteriorate over time? And the answer is yes and no. Just like 99% no and 1% yes. Yes, because batteries always will not have their maximum capacity over time. We all know that. But here's a cute little graph that I wanted to show you. Here's a cute little graph that I wanted to show you regarding, I'm just going to move my face over here, regarding Tesla. So you see how it goes down. It's still almost, let's see, 93% effective after 250,000 kilometers. And just to show you, because, in the US we have to, be the only one in the world who uses miles. Just so we're clear, if you don't know what 250,000 kilometers here, my friend Google is saying that's 155,000 miles. After 155,000 miles, your battery capacity is going to be 93% of what it was the first day you got it. You want to know something else ironic? Well, how long do these Tesla parts last? Well, I'm glad you asked, or I asked, and maybe I'm talking to myself. Next video, you're going to see Mark Melnick in a straitjacket, like with like padded walls behind him. He's going to be like, Tesla's going to 1250, guys. Would you believe this in Tesla? That Tesla, the same parts, the motor and gearbox, survive 1,000,000 miles of testing. And that's not only the impressive part, because I don't know how it was for you growing up, but for me, it was like, oh, Japanese cars last forever. Like, I think I had a Toyota Camry with like 113,000 miles, and I was like, oh my God, whatever you need, just, and it was like, then I had to change this part, and then I had to change this part, and all the thing was dirty and rusty from all the oil and all the dirt. Check this out. This is the most unbelievable picture ever. Does that look brand new? How many people think this is brand new? No, ladies and gentlemen. That is the same motor and gear that drove 1,000,000 miles. This has 1,000,000 miles of wear on it, ladies and gentlemen. 1,000,000. There's going to be no company close to accomplishing this. They hit the ground, they ran, they ran. Everybody was looking at them. They were running year after year after year after year. Now they're just so far ahead that I don't even care if they take the role of the tortoise versus the hare. The hare will never catch up to the tortoise here. That is 1,000,000 miles. No, believe me, it looks cleaner than when you go out of, advanced auto parts. Like you walk out of advanced auto parts, like that looks brand new. It is absolutely insane. So these cars last forever, in quotes. They last forever compared to whatever car you're using at the moment. You know how important this picture is for the trucks? You know how much maintenance there is? I don't know if you're from, where I'm from in Brooklyn, but you know how many auto repair shops there are in Brooklyn? You go to like, you know, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I know like 10 shady places with in which I could get my car fixed, and they'll reverse the miles for you on the old school cars. They like do all this shady stuff for you over there in Brooklyn. All those places, all on Neptune, right? James knows. Yeah. Not all, but most, right? Yeah, near the Mark Twain Junior High School. It's where I went. Anyway, point being, all those places are going out of business. All those places are going out of business. You're going to drive in with your Tesla. You're going to be like, okay, sir, what's wrong with your Tesla? Nothing. I just have to come in for servicing every 500,000 miles. Nah, you're looking good. Get out of here. Like, what are they going to say to you? What are they going to say to you exactly? Uh, Let me see. Your motor and your gearbox look a little beaten up here. Uh, we have to change it? So just like the shoe repair stores went out of business, just like the carriage repairs from the horse and carriage stores all went out of business, belt repair, auto repair is gone. You're going to have service licensed Tesla things that are going to service you, and these cars are going to outlast you. Which brings a very, very interesting thing. Who here knows what happens when you drive a vehicle off a lot? What happens? Anyone want to guess? I think you all know. What happens to a vehicle when you take the vehicle, you buy a brand new car, and you drive it off the lot? It depreciates. Cinnamon, half the value. Depreciation, it goes down in value. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it's like your P&L went like deep red. It's like I was going in. I was trying to buy this BMW Breakout, and I sat in the car. I liked it. It felt good, and then I drove off the lot, and I lost 50% of my position. That's what it feels like in trader terms. Instant depreciation. And again, if you like any of these things, everything I'm showing you here is in the description of the video. Check that out. Top 10 lowest depreciations. It's a it's a YouTube video, again, link in the description. After 12 months, after 1 year, look at your depreciation in your Ford, your Chevy, your Honda, your Subaru, your Dodge. The depreciation is a fraction of what it is for other cars, half or less on every single one of these. Some of them close to two and a half, but half or less. The car doesn't even depreciate in value. And you know what that says? It says that it's a good investment, is what it says. if your car is not depreciating in value. Next, I'm going to share with you is something a little nerdy. Um, Sales exploding even during Corona and the investor relations letter. So first, I'm going to show you the 2019 sales exploding and the vertical thing I'm talking about just off a simple Google search. And again, this Google search, if you like these charts, they are in the link of the video description, links for this chart. Look at their sales. 2012, 2013, 14, 15. Look from 27 to 2018. Boom, boom. Now with their new factories, these are deliveries with new annual vehicle delivery sales. That's pretty impressive. And right now, from everything I see, this number is just going to keep increasing and increasing, and they're opening up new factories, and the factories are growing quickly, the sales are growing quickly. And of course, I'm going to show you just the nerdy investor relations letter. And again, this is directly from IR, directly from Tesla, and it's Tesla Investor Relations. And it basically shows you their automotive revenues all the way up for Q4. Again, I'm not going to go deep into this, but I do encourage you to look at it, even if you don't fully understand it. It's a great place to look and start, trying to understand things. By the way, they're opening up Tesla Semi, Roadster, and Cybertruck. It's in development in North America. What do you think is going to happen with these sales? What do you think is going to happen when they go to these trucking companies and say, all right, I got an idea. Your repair bills are going to go down 90 to 99%. Your oil bill is going to go down to zero. Your electricity bill will go up a little bit. But you know what? You're going to have not only that, you're also going to have autopilot. And that actually brings me to another thing that this is going to just be a special that I'm going to share with you right now. It's the number of autopilot miles from Tesla. And you want to talk about the future of automated driving? They currently have done, they are well over 2 billion miles as of January 1st, almost 2.2 billion human driverless miles, completely autopilot. What do you think that's going to do for the truckers in the United States once the technology gets to the point in? Would I let my kids go inside an autopilot car right now? No, but that's because my wife would kill me, and maybe if I like quadrupled my life insurance, then I might do it. My kids would be fine, but Mark Melnick, you just have these videos to remember. But now, what's the big deal here about Tesla and the autopilot models? Waymo, what is that? Is that the Google thing? Waymo, Waymo. They have 20 million miles compared to 2.2 billion miles. Compare that. 20 million autopilot miles, 2.2 billion autopilot miles. What do you think is going to happen to efficiency when the truck driver doesn't need to be in the truck? Or if the truck driver is in the cabin right behind him, taking a nap, saying, okay, keep going to Florida. I have enough power. I don't need to stop for gas. Go ahead. Take me to Florida. Click. That's what it's like to be Elon. He could pretend he's Elon Musk. He could be in the back of his semi truck, taking Ambien, smoking marijuana, and just chilling, watching Netflix as his truck just goes by itself. You're telling me that Tesla isn't going to explode in the United States of America? And the way I see other companies competing with them, there is no real competition. It's a joke. And again, this IR letter is here. It talks about Shanghai, it talks about Berlin, talks about their autopilot and full self-driving, which is FSD. It shows their current production of how many things they can make, and it's just simply not enough, and they just keep expanding and expanding. The next part and the last part I'm going to share with you is sort of the hilarious irony here is that Tesla doesn't need to sell cars. Let me just throw in or trucks because I meant by vehicles. Tesla doesn't need to sell cars or trucks. They're already going to be part of your home. Now, this is the funny thing here. Um, Elon said Tesla's solar roof sales are going to grow like his marijuana plants on, I mean, like kelp on steroids. Musk vows. Now, what is the interesting thing here? Well, the US has 5 million roofs redone annually. You might be sitting here and saying, Mark, they're old homes. Who's going to redo their roof? I don't know if you're from the East Coast, but after these hurricanes hit, these shady roof people come to your door and they're like, do you want a free roof? What? All right, what's are there strings attached? Like, yeah, we're just gonna hit up your insurance company. They're not gonna say a word, and we're gonna put in a new roof. Here, let us look. Okay, there's a little chip here. We can redo your whole roof for free. They come around in the East Coast, especially in hurricane hit places. There are 5 million roofs done, redone. Not even new homes, redone annually. And not only that, the amazing, beautiful weathered state of California as of January 2020, started requiring all newly constructed homes to have solar installed. So all these new homes are going to have solar. And where do you think they're going to turn to with all these government subsidies for solar? They're going to turn to the number one solar company, which will be, if it isn't already, in my humble opinion, the number one solar company on the planet, Tesla. And they're going to be putting in so much solar. And you know what? The funny thing is, a lot of you guys are sitting here saying, I don't know if I want to, pay to have solar on my. If you live in California and you have a new house, too bad. But like, let's say you live in any of the other states as of now, you might say, I don't think I want solar energy on my house. Then the government's going to come to you and say, well, not only are we going to pay for the majority of your solar installation and panels, but we're going to buy excess energy off you. And that not a lot of people know about this. Some of you do, I'm sure, that the government literally buys energy off of you if you're running solar. You have excess energy, it goes right into the grid, they pay you money for it. Who do you think is going to lead the United States of America in this? Do you think it's going to be somebody who makes the best electric batteries and panels in the world? Or is it going to be not them? You could already see the deal now. All right, Musk, we're going to use all your solar panels. You're just going to have to piss in this cup for us. And as long as you could do that, we're fine. And Musk is going to say, I refuse to piss in that cup. And they're going to be like, all right, give us the solar panels anyway. A Tesla 1250 Target. Now, I know a lot of you are saying, okay, Mark, you sound like every analyst on Wall Street who doesn't like to put, well, not every analyst is putting a target like that, but you sound like every analyst, like, Captain, I could call a target in something and it might never hit over a certain amount of time. What kind of time frame are you looking for? 12 to 18 months. Now, it might sound like a long time. It is a bit of a swing trade. I mean, I'm calling for this stock to more than double in value. I'm basically calling for the stock to get over here, like $1,250, to boldly go where Tesla's common stock has never gone before during a bear market. If you want to consider this a bear market now, because I know we're 20% off our lows and it doesn't feel like a bull market. So Those are my ultimate thoughts on Tesla. I do want to just ask you, if you did enjoy this video, just please consider, look what you get for as little as $1. You have 3 hours. First of all, you have Scott Redler's face. Scott Redler's face. So if you thought I was just going to make you lose your appetite with this, I'm trying to help it here. Okay? Look at these sexy T3 contributors. Oh my God. I mean, not everyone. Look at these gorgeous, gorgeous men. And they're all sharing with you a powerful strategy that you can use to start trading immediately. And a lot of you guys probably already have this, but that will not stop you from just going in and just donating. It's normally $295. You can get it for as low as $1. You can put in as much money as you want. I'll tell you right now, you want to know why T3 is so awesome? You know, the credit cards cost them fees. So if you go ahead and donate $1, you're actually going to cost T3 money by donating as a little of, as $1 because they have to process the credit card transaction. So T3 literally by doing this is putting themselves out there to help you help others. I mean, in my religion, it's called a mitzvah. You do something very good for somebody else. I really commend T3 on stepping up and doing something like this during this time, offering you strategies. And, also, if you enjoyed this video, this is part of the Let's Fight COVID-19 Together. You will find a link in the description for that. Not only that, there's more we're offering you. If you enjoyed this video, or even if you didn't, what you can do is you can get my free 39-page ebook, my 39-page psychology ebook. Not only that, I have a free webinar link in the description here. Not only that, there's a link if you want to become a new Newsbeat Live Bandit, the largest room here at T3 Live. Come check us out. Not only that, you can email me directly. Let me know your thoughts on Tesla. Let me know where you are as a trader. Let me know if I can help you personally. I put myself out there. I'm literally like, I'm the guy who's like brushing my teeth, like, reading like your email, answering it with like one of my 10 thumbs. I'm like literally in bed, like rolling over. Oh, I can't sleep. Let me put on a silly YouTube video. No, let me answer your emails. I tried to get to every single one of your emails. You could reach me directly if you have any questions. Not only that, everything you saw on Tesla tonight and more. There are links in the description. Take advantage of it. Understand the company in the same way I do, and let me know your opinion. Again, it's for educational purposes only. I'm never telling you to buy or sell any security ever. And I hope you guys enjoyed this exclusive Newsbeat show. Happy trading, make money. And I will see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.